No, you're not going to tell me that it's just a coincidence.
The council do try and come around and...
Was that used to it?
Well,
It's just perfect. This location takes us 70 miles from where we're based to Strathmartine Hospital, also known to some as the Dundee Lunatic Asylum. Strathmartine can be quoted here as a hospital for mental defectives of 630 beds, pleasantly situated on the outskirts of the city, that city being Dundee. This location started its life back in 1852, where it was originally known as Baldovan Orphanage. 43 years later, it became fully occupied, initiating its growth towards the way we recognise it today. By 1904, the first additions were completed and Strathmartine was now equipped with dining and recreation halls, a school, laundry buildings and staff accommodation. This lasted a few decades up until the early 1930s, when further additional nursing homes and pavilions were required. By this point, children were educated at work or trained on the grounds as Strathmartine slowly became a self-sustaining community. Another 20 years later, old buildings were renovated and modernised to that time period, as well as the construction of further wards, given by that point Strathmartine Hospital was once full again. Strathmartine around this time was rather picturesque, with well-kept gardens and a content home for several children, patients and staff. Up until this point, the late 1950s, Strathmartine was still called Baldovan Institute. Several names had been considered, however, following the decision of Dr. Malcolm McRae, the hospital's name was now officially changed to Strathmartine Hospital just shy of the 1960s. Following the name change, Strathmartine's grounds became home to yet a further two buildings, known as Wards 11 and 12, which are highly recognisable buildings today with the central bay windows, which we intend to explore after dark, as well as several other buildings for any potential paranormal activity. 5 years after that, Wards 13, 14 and 15 were constructed, making Strathmartine more recognisable in the form of a somewhat village it mostly remains today. I say mostly, as over the years, a couple of Strathmartine's buildings, and sad to say more attractive buildings, have been set on fire by, shall we say, unknown individuals, as no one was ever held responsible. On top of that, several buildings have been demolished for various reasons by authorities. So as the years go on, Strathmartine is slowly reducing in size. Meanwhile, back in 1964, a chapel of rest was built. It's also a shame to say that it was in this year that the very original orphanage building, which stood before any other, got demolished and made way for further new buildings. The swimming pool didn't arrive until 1971 as part of what they called the Parents and Friends Association, where friends and families of those admitted to the hospital could stay for a while in the on-site holiday home. Furthermore, Wards 16 and 17 were both built in the 1980s. By this point, Strathmartine was in full occupancy, and you could say in full bloom, and had spanned to an incredible size. Sadly, however, despite the money that had been put into it over the years, the work involved and evident running success, Strathmartine was soon to be no more, as at the dawn of the 1990s, the National Health Service, alongside the Community Care Act, transferred services away from health and local authorities, resulting in areas such as Strathmartine Hospital to close. Some of the more recent buildings, particularly those built just before the turn of the millennium, are still in use today. However, in the 1990s, wards started to be cleared out and closed one by one as deinstitutionalisation was now taking place. In the year 2000, staff and residents celebrated their final Christmas together in the Recreation Hall. 3 years later, Strathmartine Hospital closed its doors and became the abandoned ghost town that it is today. Currently, there are proposals of the site being made into flats ongoing. However, planning authorities state that these plans have to be feasible and sensible, as well as a few other complications that are getting in the way. Since its closure, however, it's never quite been as abandoned as people believe. As mentioned before, it has had its fair share of graffiti artists, fire starters and vandals visit it from time to time, as well as many photographers and even the select few tourists. Following this, the amount of paranormal activity reports over the years have been described as rife, so much so that Strathmartine Hospital is said to be in the top 10 of Britain's most haunted locations. Paralytic dementia was the main cause of many deaths within the asylum throughout the years, brought on by the onslaught of syphilis, which causes severe neurological and psychological symptoms. Many of the patients of Strathmartine Hospital became bedridden and most straitjacketed. Death for them was a slow process of muscle atrophy. Some patients suffering from these physical symptoms would become mentally defective as a subsequent, so much so that, for example, One patient was found naked in his room, claiming that his clothing smelled of blood. It has also been logged that another patient suffered from what they named demonomania, given that she forever claimed to speak to the devil and stated that one day he would come and carry her away. Patients from all walks of life passed through the institution through time, requiring various levels of psychological help. It is said that many of the spirits of those who died a slow painful death over the decades of its operation still remain within the walls. From doors banging to strange objects appearing in photography, as well as objects such as chairs moving of their own accord, this location is an apparent paranormal hotspot. That's why we couldn't resist trying our hand at this popular location by taking photographs and doing several experiments after dark to see if we can catch anything strange that we struggle to explain on camera to bring any further proof to the haunting of Strathmartine Hospital.
That's the light on.
Oh Jesus.
Can I find the button? There. Oh, here it's fairly flattened now. Right. Finally.
Can I get glass in it? No.
Well, I'm on my first ghost hunt and explore with our Haunted Scotland project. Trying not to break my neck at the moment, and hopefully this is going to be a good explore. My first one, so hopefully. These are only held on by a nut and bolt, by the way, so sometimes other people come up and put them off. We don't break in.
Do you hear that ticking?
Aye.
What was that? Did that stop now? What was that? Did you hear that coming through that window?
I heard ticking, aye.
Yeah, it's doing it again. Oh, that's scary, by the way. It stopped doing it. Hear that? What is that? Is the camera picking that up? What's that hole? That's what we're talking about. It's funny how they didn't seal up that.
It's a good job you've seen that, or I'd went straight down it.
Bingo.
Bloody hell, they birds, by the way. Will that give us access to the whole building?
Aye.
Aye.
Let's go. Who's gone first?
Watch a fat man getting through a tight bit.
What's a fat man? You going next, Steve?
If you want, no, I'll go next.
Right.
Then I'm just standing. Oh, just. Oh no, there's another one. Look, right there. Oh, I'm petrified of these things. Can I kill it? Is that alive?
It'll not touch you. Where is it?
Can you get in? Can you get access to the place in there, Wayne?
Right, I'm going because
No,
you're taking
get rid
too
of that
long.
first.
I can't touch it, James. You're taking too long.
Right, do you want me to get rid of that for us?
What?
Come and read it.
Come read it. I come here to mourn her. I hate the world for taking her. That's why I pledged alliance to the unholy one.
There's every possibility that that was patient, because they used to write things on the wall.
Alright. I heard a step there.
You did not.
I'm sure I heard a step there. I'm not just...
I never heard a step.
Oh,
I thought I heard it.
so that's what I should do. Aye, of course you're
I
saying.
heard it myself. It's like dum. Is it not me?
Aye, no, maybe it was. But it sounded like from upstairs.
character.
Yeah. Oh, I found the staircase.
Let myself get feet to it when I'm in buildings because I'll never go back in them. Because I go in them all myself.
You want to go up the stairs?
There's a couple of floors in here. Some of them that are trash-free fire. Just got to watch these a bit.
It might not be this.
And maybe just watch the windows because you don't want to get in the day. We're not always in this is honestly damaged by fire.
Oh, look, aye.
Jesus.
The floors are solid. It's just a shame.
Why do folk do that?
The council do try and come around and...
Was that used to it?
What?
It's just when things blowing.
Black.
It's one of the most scariest buildings I've been in because it looks like a scene for a movie.
It does, doesn't it?
Like a set for a movie set, if that makes sense. It's all like burnt in. Have you got all the equipment, Stuart?
Yeah, aye. Well, I would do it, aye.
I mean, here's the laugh, right? Here's a laugh. We'll turn out all the lights, we'll turn to night vision in a minute, so night shot, turn all the lights out on every camera.
Well, I need to go and fix my night vision.
Oh, you just turn it off and we'll don't worry, well, it's up to yourself.
No, I've got a 3, I would like to.
I can actually see further than anything. And if I turn the night vision off, this is how dark it is. It's like pitch black. Now you've got your light on in the background at the moment, just a wee bit blurry. But it's pitch black.
Maybe I wouldn't do it then.
You're starting to get frightened now.
Don't know. I'm mad. Don't like this.
Sounds scary.
The Siri had a bang right now.
Actually, I find this freaky.
This is Wayne's first time in a supposedly haunted.
Oh, this feels freaky. Darren, if something jumps out of me, I'm off.
If you what?
If something jumps out of me, I'm off.
I can't hear him.
I don't know what you said. Are we not heading this way? What way you want to go?
Let him go down that way then now. We'll go to the end of this corridor, right? But we'll all stay on the third floor, okay? I can't see a bloody
No,
thing.
I'm coming your way.
You don't get any further? Are you scared, Wayne?
I'm not going down there mine.
When you listen to me talk now, wouldn't you either? What?
So I heard somebody.
But you have somebody? In the building or out the building?
I don't know. It's just my imagination, I think. What?
Did you hear that?
That's...
Shh. When do you hear that? Stuart, then we're just going to see what that noise is. Aye, Stuart, you're going to see what that noise is, and I'll wait here. I'm only kidding, we'll all come.
Yep, that's your turn.
Oh, aye, that's what that noise is.
Well,
So we've worked out what that noise is.
well, there's... It's that cord
Hitting off the glass. Right, well we've debunked that.
Where did you leave your bag? That hole that's blood in the floor.
Probably, maybe.
That was that bit we came in.
Do you know what I was thinking? And this, I can't believe I'm going to say this.
You've got to do it yourself.
No, absolutely not. There's 3 floors. We could all have a floor each and walk from one end to the other, but I'll crap my pants and I'll run up the
Go
stairs
for
or
it.
down.
Go for it, it'll be
The
fun.
thing is, how scary is it going to be? Because if I'm in the middle, I'm going to hear you above me and hear him below me. I'm going to be a wreck.
Go to the tap then.
Oh no, because I have it further to run. Get back out. Oh, I don't think I can, Stuart. It's pitch black.
Oh, come on.
Look at that. I couldn't even walk down there myself.
A floor each, let's do it.
Did you hear what we were talking about there?
No.
We'll walk
I
down.
stupidly thought, right,
It wasn't stupid.
it's a stupid idea because I'm going to crap my pants. There's 3 floors, we all take a floor each and walk from one end to the other.
I think it's
On a
a good
row.
idea.
Look, he's not a fan of the thought of it either.
Actually, I think I look pretty good in the film because we've usually got 2 cameras.
Uh-huh.
Right.
So
Got a
3
floor
cameras, 3 different angles.
Right, okay, well, what, has anybody got a preference for a floor? I don't fancy the top floor, but I don't know.
I'll go to the top floor.
You can sit in here and we'll take, because you've got a top floor, so I'll take second. You can sit in here because you've got the bit you can run out if you need to, and then...
Right, and remember,
Can't
you have to
believe
go
we're doing
all
this.
the way to the end, James.
Right, who's wanting this radio?
Here's your
Ah, you better leave a radio with him.
I'm going to, can you keep the light on? Are you allowed to keep your light on?
Nah.
So I can't just do it, I could not walk about here and on without the light
Alright,
on.
with a light on then.
You can have a light
I'll
on.
maybe turn the
You
light
can-
off
aye.
at some point.
Right.
Right. So I'll stand here, both of, well, all, right, you go up to this first floor, the second floor if you like, and then you go to the third one, and when we're all ready, we'll all start walking down each corridor.
Right.
That's
Right.
this floor.
And I'm going to put my light on right away. I just hope this camera doesn't die.
Right. And I'll go to the third.
You keep the light on and... you keep the light on, I'll keep my light on. I'm just just keeping my screen light on so I can see.
I cannot believe I'm going to walk about this floor on my own. Oh, don't make any weird noises, please.
You ready?
Right, are you up the top, Stuart?
I'm right at the top now, aye.
Right, we'll all walk along to the end and then we'll meet at the staircase at the other end then.
Aye.
Right.
Right, okay.
Well, this is my first time doing a ghost hunt explore, and this is the first time I've actually walked along a corridor in pitch black on my own. The only light I can see is through my night shot.
It is a lot scarier when you're on your own. Now I know everybody is going to be thinking that I'm being a big wuss by keeping my light on, but if I was to turn my light off right now, I would literally have a heart attack. Because this might not look scary, this might not look scary on camera, but I tell you, when you're in an asylum that is derelict, and you're in a bit all on your own, I wish I was brave as the other two, but I'm not.
It's actually pitch black in front of me. Jamie's on the floor below me. Walking along to the other staircase. And Stuart's on the top. Doing the same. We're all going to meet at the end.
So I'm in the complete dark. I can't see a thing.
It's when you hear a wee tap, you're like, what was that? But then I've got to remember those guys are up above me.
Cannot tell you how freaky this feels. Actually pitch black. I'm taking small steps because I can't see what's on my feet, and I can only see from my viewfinder.
Right, just now I'm standing in the very middle of the corridor. Wayne is on the second floor and Stuart is up the very top on the third. I think I might be dead brave and I'll turn my light out. You'll still see things on camera, but I'm going to turn my light out and see how long I can keep it out for. About 2 seconds, watch this. Right. Okay, so far so good. Oh, I heard a noise down there. That might just have been Stuart or Wayne above me. This is really scary.
Freaky.
there's any spirits here, could you maybe make a noise, not a scary one preferably? I think I'm doing quite well. I'm going to keep my light off just now. The only thing is I can't see a thing in front of me when I put my light off. Ooh. Thing is, I'm not scared because I'm watching the LCD screen, which everybody else is probably watching right now. If I was to look round about me, I'd probably panic because I can't see anything. This is scary, by the way. Oh, jeez. Can't see a thing. Those noises you hear are just the guys up above. Cannot see a thing. Right, I have successfully made it to the foot of the stairs.
I was expecting you to be there. Wow. Right.
But I think I just seen a light flashing through those windows and I'm beginning to wonder what it was. Might have been Stuart.
You have the radio?
I've got the radio.
Alright, I was going to try and figure it out.
I'm so proud of myself.
Aye, that's the first time you've ever done anything like that, James.
I got halfway down and I turned my light off and I walked down to the rest of it with my light off.
I've done the same.
You get paranoid, don't you?
I don't, it's I don't know. I'm 50-50 there. It's just in there if you want to rummage.
What is it about the children's ward? Remember you were saying to me that you feel really scared and eerie even during the day, but what is it about the children's ward that you
like
feel
someone's
so...
watching me, and I feel like someone's going to put their hands on my shoulders and say, "Oi, you shouldn't be in here." I didn't care, it's just weird.
More so than any other building?
That's the only building. I was in here, no one here. I went in, and I'd been in there before, and I went in and I kept getting told, "Shouldn't be in here, leave, shouldn't be in here, leave." And I left and my heart was actually pounding a bit. And I never had that anywhere, and I don't know.
Yeah, it's quite cool in here. It's multicoloured.
Right guys, get the fuck out of my building.
That's
It's
freezing.
freezing, it's like icy cold. Ooh.
And here's good.
This one's a lot more dangerous looking than...
Wow, it's bigger than I thought.
This feels a bit like Balrossi, doesn't it?
Beware of babies.
Sorry, I'm getting a cold shiver on my spine.
It's freezing though. You're right.
No, something. I kind of feel something in my spine. I suddenly just feel really cold.
I know, it's like...
I don't know, is my hand freezing?
It's because what's happened is
You're
because you've used so
no,
much
you're
it's started blending you.
That was the door you used to go again until they burnt it up. I'm not being funny, but I actually got a sicky feeling in my throat, and I didn't know what it is. It's just I didn't feel right. I'm going to do
You
it.
really don't like this place, do you?
If any wee ghosties are sitting in the chairs.
If there's any spirits in here who hate to do you no harm, we're just here to film and document. And we don't wish to upset you, any of you. It's quite cold in here though.
It's
Aye,
freezing.
it's like below the... It's like... I mean, it's...
Anyone any fish from the fish fryer? I think there's a pigeon up the stairs. It sounded like it was walking along the flare.
I don't
Are you
really
wanting to go
see-
up the stairs?
Aye.
Before these bricked these up, these were actually beautiful with the old little blocks. I thought it was quite cool.
What was
See?
If I look at the top of the lift, the doors are missing. How are you feeling now, Wayne?
Don't know, I'm just feeling a bit half and half. I just feel a bit
Calming down, ain't
a wee bit, but I'm still on edge. I don't know what it is with this building.
I heard it or not?
I didn't hear that. Yours is it?
If there's any spirits here, can you make that EMF meter light up? Go towards the green light. Is there anybody here?
It's quite comfy. Right, so let's point our cameras in different directions.
Right, so I'll point towards that door.
So I've got roughly the main door.
I've got that area going down that way.
And I've got this door here.
Well, I've got that smudge in the wall, so if you want to turn around more this way so you cut the smudge out, then we're all pointing at different things. There we are. Just imagine the buzz of this.
Oh, I just got an orb.
Did you?
Aye. In the doorway. There's a kind of smudge on my screen though, I don't know what's wrong with it.
Maybe this needs wiped.
Condensation.
Shh, shh, shh. Did you hear that? Wind.
I feel something stripping on me.
No, but did you hear that noise?
No.
It was like a door dragging.
I don't know.
Hey. It was like a door dragging.
Oh.
It was like, but maybe I was just moving silly.
Would you come here and light up this green light?
If there's any spirits around here, could you let us know that you're here? They may be affecting the EMF meter. Or making a noise that will know that it's you.
Will you stop freaking Wayne out and leave him in peace?
Are you still freaked out?
I just feel like somebody's watching me and I shouldn't be here. That should be like...
When you say somebody's watching you, what?
I feel like somebody's from the back watching me, and I feel like somebody's going to put their hands on my shoulders and...
I was thinking that somebody's going to grab my shoulder.
I feel like...
That's weird that you're both thinking.
I feel like... I just feel when I come in this building, it's the only one that I feel... I don't know, it's like I will get a presence of either sadness or anger, or somebody's not wanting me to be here, and when I leave, oh, I shouldn't be here, and I'm causing trouble. And it's the only building I feel discomfort in, and when I walk out, the feeling's gone. But I just feel like somebody's telling me to get out. Don't, you know, you shouldn't be here. Maybe it's just, I don't know, I pick up on something. Freaks me out though.
I suppose.
Will we just head then? What time are we on?
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock exactly, right, we'll call it a day. What? Yeah, that looks pretty good. Smile though your heart is aching.
This was a huge reason for the holes, as people have been stealing the metal covered.
Not got a roof.
I've been in there twice, but
That would just fall apart.
I would recommend don't. It's quiet here.
I know. And that's what makes you paranoid. You hear one wee noise when it's so quiet and you're like, what the hell was that? Halt, who goes there?
Down the bottom they had a doctor's surgery clinic type thing, and they also had one up there. It was like a big mixed community.
Trying to get people. Function.
Yeah, that down there.
I'm just holding onto this just now to see if it starts flickering. Look at that chair. What's the man here?
Obviously there's a generator and all that to power that.
I'm not getting anything out of this wee EMF meter anyway. Ew, what's that?
Looks like saline or something like that. No needle allowed past this point. Some sort of like old bag.
Right, if we turn the lights out, and I'll hold this in front of us to see if it moves. God, it's deathly quiet, isn't it? It's black as well. I know. Right, well, want me to go first? If there's any spirits around us in this building, can you maybe affect the EMF meter that I'm holding in my hand, or make some form of noise to let us know that you're here?
That just flashed. Now, I've been holding that all night. It never flashed. It just flashed. Thank you. If that was you, thank you. Could you do it again? Just make the EMF meter in my hand flicker. Because I've been holding it for ages and it hasn't flickered once, just up until I asked you. Or alternatively make a noise down the end of the corridor or in a different room. See, I'm quite impressed with that because I've been holding that EMF meter. Oh, there it's going again. Thank you. Oh. Is that you making those noises and setting off the EMF meter?
I'm feeling cold. I feel cold draft coming up.
That's because I think there's an open window right behind you, Wayne. Yeah, there's an open window behind you, which will probably...
Not be.
See, I find that quite impressive because I've carried this about for about half an hour and kept my eye on it and nothing flickered, and I've asked twice and I've had a wee flicker out of it. It could be nothing, but I find that quite a coincidence. I'll hold it like this so you can see it. I'll try it again. Can you, just in case the boys missed it, can you make it flicker again for me, please? Just to let us know that you're here. Or like I say, if you can make a noise down the end of the corridor or move something. Oh, did you see that? Thank you. Can you make it go any more than just the green? Can you make it go right up to the red? Or maybe the orange? Wayne, is there any other alternative as to why this could be flickering? Is there any electricity in this building? It's all cut off.
Everything's cut off back to the substation. When you come in, it's all padlocked off. Everything's padlocked off and switched off in there. There's been no electricity here for many years.
Can you come and affect the EMF meter one more time before we go? Try and get it to go up to the red. Let us really know that you're here. See, that's the thing. See if it was my camera or the mobile or anything at all that you think was setting this off, it'd be flashing all the time. But when you come to maybe asking a question, you'll get a wee flicker if you're lucky.
I think we should try the next person.
But I'm quite impressed with that. It's not amazing, but I'm quite impressed with that. Because I was carrying it about for half an hour and nothing happened until I asked. You just didn't see it flicking, did you? I got it on camera though.
Oh, well, it'll be good.
The last one. Third one.
Oh, well, who knows?
I'm going to keep it running. I'll maybe not keep the camera on it, but I'm going to keep it running just to see. That's cool. Oh, just flickered again into the orange that time. Oh, it's doing it. Was that you? Could you do it again? You not want us to go? Is that why it was flashing before we left? You want us to stay? Make it flash if you want us to stay. Make it flash if you want us to go. Oh!
I'm on right here actually.
Oh, please tell me that. Who's put the light on? Did you see that? Oh, I don't want to go now. Everybody watching, I'm like, oh, don't go. It's totally responded. It doesn't. I wonder why it wants us to go. Did you see that? It went right up to the red.
I would dislike
That has really put the chills right up me.
Look.
Right, well, we're going to go. We might return, but we're going to go. Thanks for that, though. If that was you. I'm going to keep this on until we get out of here, but thanks for that. I was really impressed with that. I says, let us know if you want us to go, and right in front of our eyes that went right up to red.
And there's not got any technology on it.
Do you know that? It's funny how you can walk about here and think, I don't really think there's anything here, until you actually try, and then the next minute, that's a wee bat. How did you feel about that?
I don't know.
That put the wind up you, didn't it?
When you said you seen the green light flicker, and I'll tell you I didn't see anything, but when I seen it actually pulse slightly, pulsed down and pulsed up, I was like, okay, that's...
But it was right after, because I was sitting holding it and I said, do you want us to stay?
And there's nothing on us that would create that, because we've had that all in alright. We've had all this technology.
I'm still holding it, yeah, I'm not getting... I says, do you want us to stay? Nothing happened. I says, do you want us to go? It went right up into the red.
No.
I'm still holding it just to make sure it's... Make it flash if you want us to go. Oh! That was really good. That was cool.
That actually was, I will admit, I was very impressed with that. It went and it went...
Absolutely, nothing's happened since I asked those questions.
It went from green into orange slightly, touched the red and came back down. Or was it yellow? Oh, it pulsed 3 anyway.
It went right up into the red. When I says, do you want us to go? Boom, right up into the red it went.
Oh.
And I've been holding it since we're leaving and nothing's happening. If it was my mobile, if it was my camera, it would be occasionally flickering. I get nothing out of that building. Nothing out here since I was in there. No, it's not doing anything.
I'm following the way and see the left in the fridge. But it's just like everyone just sitting there like untouched. Like the old granny's chairs, the gramophones, the tellies, the fridges, the cookers. It was
Looks quite creepy right enough, this place. It looks worse than what I thought it would have been.
That is all you can see.
Right, I'm going to turn the light off.
Where I was touching this.
What was it? I don't like the fact that my back's at the door.
If there's any spirits here, could you respond by making
turn your light out.
a flicker on the...
Don't. You'll be fine. Oh, is that flicker there or was that just my imagination? Did you turn yours out and all be?
It is awful. Is there anyone here with us? If there is, can you make a flicker on the meter?
No, you're not going to tell me that it's just a coincidence.
Are you happy for us to be here? If yes, please flicker the meter. We mean you no harm. Was that a flicker for yes? You're happy for us to be here? Are you happy for us to keep exploring? I take it that as a yes. Can we explore the rest of the rooms? We're going to explore the rest of the rooms, okay? We mean you no harm. I'll put your sippy cup back where I found it.
I try and be sceptical, but every now and again something just becomes too much of a coincidence.
Sippy cup.
That's 149. If there's any spirits in here that were affecting the EMF meter, could you throw the ball back down the corridor or make it move after we throw it? Can you move the ball? Can you make any noise at all, or even affect the EMF meter? Is anybody hearing anything?
Would you like us to go? If yes, please do stand up to the meter.
Could you make a tap out in the hallway? One loud enough so that it doesn't sound like raindrops or dripping water?
We should go now and leave you in peace.
Make it flash if you want us to go. Oh!
Is there anyone here with us? If there is, can you make a flicker on the meter?
No, you're not going to tell me that it's just a coincidence. Aye, Stuart, you go and see what that noise is, and I'll wait here. I'm only kidding, we'll all come.